It's 6:42 and it's time for the nation's business. I'm Siobhan Campbell.
And I'm Cliff Hughes.
Well, we turn now to water. The Prime Minister has announced a $25 billion project which is designed to provide relief to sections of Western Jamaica which are facing chronic water supply challenges. The project is dubbed the Western Jamaica Water Resilience Program. It will see the upgrade, installation and replacement of major pipelines in Western Jamaica.
The pipelines will be installed from the Brae water treatment plant in Trelawny to Terminal Reservoir in St. James, also from the Great River water treatment plant in St. James to Negril in Westmoreland.
The pre-engineering phase of this project has commenced at a cost of 32 million Jamaican dollars. This will last 6 weeks. During that period, the National Water Commission, in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance, will complete the necessary technical and administrative work to facilitate the deployment of US $160 million, that is Jamaican $24.8 billion, for the installation and replacement of these pipelines, Madam Speaker.
Prime Minister Holness says his government understands the problems and is moving to respond to a situation that has affected the quality of life of the people of Western Jamaica.
Your government understands the impact on all stakeholders, residents, children, schools, businesses, hotels in the region, and indeed all stakeholders. Farmers have also borne a heavy burden across all Western parishes, but in particular, in southern St. Elizabeth, the government continues to put drought mitigation measures in place to reduce the impact.
That's Prime Minister Andrew Holness. He was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Well, joining us this evening to discuss further is Parish Manager for Hanover for the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Kamille Scott, and President of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Elaine Bradley. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Kamille Scott, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Good. Let me begin with you, Kamille. Your reaction as Parish Manager of the Hanover branch of the JAS to what you heard from the Prime Minister yesterday.
Well, what he has said is really, it sounds really positive, especially for the Hanoverians, not just the farmers, but for, the all
stakeholders in the parish, because we have never seen this water crisis so severe here in Hanover.
Mm-hmm.
So if this project is fruitful and it comes through, then it would really make a difference in mitigating against this severe condition that we're having here.
And talk to us about the problems you're having with the supply of water in Hanover.
All right. Well, the farmers, as you know, the JAS, we are a lobbying organization for the farmers. And so many of their concerns would have come to us over the past few months. I don't think we've ever seen such long dry spells before. And so it has drastically affected production. For example, those who depend on, say, vegetable crop production like your pak choy and cabbage and so forth, and those crops require a lot of water, you'll find that at this time of the year you do not get a lot of that, those vegetables, because there's no water. I remember speaking to a farmer. I wanted some produce to carry to an agricultural show, neighboring parish, and he had yam. But he said to me, Miss Scott, I'm unable to dig the yam because the soil, the earth is so hard. Yes. And even I was at another meeting, and the other persons were sharing their experience with water. People cannot cook because it's not that they don't have food in their house, but they don't have water to go on the fire to cook the food. And I find that really, really, yes,
bad.
Serious. Yes.
Wow.
So it is a problem. It is a real big problem,
And is it that the challenges with water supply are getting worse over the years, or it's what?
It's getting worse because, the two major treatment plants here in Hanover, the Great River treatment plant and the one in Logwood. And, it's stretched. They are stretched. They have added so many communities on the line. And these communities they are in hilly areas, and the pressure is not reaching them. They're not getting the water. They're paying for the service, but there's no water in the pipes. When the report comes out about the percentage of downtime on these pumps, it's unbelievable. 35%, 50% operational for a parish. You can't have those where we're highly dependent on water. Water is the staff of life. So it's really getting worse. And then when you look on the roads, you see water running, broken mains, and yet the same water is not going into the household. So, you have to wonder what's happening.
And Elaine, Bradley over there in Negril, I'm
Yes,
assuming
sir.
this news of the $25 billion project is welcome news.
Boy, it is welcome news, or I should say, man, it is real welcome news. The thing is, though, we have heard a lot of these things spoken about, but coming to fruition, as Ms. Scott says, coming to fruition is another thing. The Prime Minister, I'm telling you, I know he's working and he cannot be everywhere, but having designated these funds to help the people, especially in Westmoreland, I know it's all over, but Westmoreland people have really been hit hard, especially Western Westmoreland and Western Negril in particular. West End of Negril, unless you're in it, you cannot know what it's like. When people are going in hotels to work and they cannot have water to even wash their clothes or their bodies, to go to the hotels to service people, it's not a nice fit. And the kids going to school, one woman actually said she catch one bucket of water, and it has to do for her cooking, it has to do for their washing, and it has also to do for their kids to go to school. And what they have to do is literally just wet a flannel or a rag, as they call it, and just wipe up their armpits. That's how bad it's gone. We've had droughts before all over, and we've had it bad in the West End, but never this bad. Now, among the citizens, especially of the West End, they are blaming a lot of it on the Princess Hotel, sucking all the water that people should have. And that should not be allowed. A hotel is being built. Yes, they need water. They are going to need people to work. So you have to look after the people who are going to service these hotels. And so what the Prime Minister has said, it's welcomed. And we are all happy and ecstatic. But we will not jump for joy until, as Ms. Scott said, it comes to fruition. Because we've heard all these talks. We've seen it written down. And if you look back, all this has been on the cards for years. But this Western Hanover and Westmoreland has totally been neglected all the years.
But certainly, Ms. Bradley, the fact that, according to the Prime Minister, it's already in train and they're using emergency procurement to expedite matters, does that give you a little bit more comfort?
Yes, it gives all of it gives us comfort. But because we've heard all this before, and we've seen it on paper, and we've heard it, but we've never seen it in action, literally coming to fruition. And that's what we want. We want to see the action. Speaking about leaks, Jamaica is a land of wood and water. It's just that the people, some of the people, I wouldn't say all, that are working for these agencies, they are inefficient. And they are not doing the job that they are, efficiently and effectively, that they are being paid to do. And it's of the impression, I'm not saying that
some of the people that work for some of these agencies are there just to put roadblocks. You need to service the people. Our people are our greatest asset. And if we don't look after the asset, we are going to lose it. And in my community, which is Western Negril, our people are disgruntled. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard of the song that Sam Cooke sang about change will come. A change has to come. Mm-hmm. And I can see it coming. I have lived in hope that this government and all the promises will come to fruition. But it's when.
Let me ask you this, Miss Elaine, before I go back to Miss Scott in Hanover. Mm-hmm. You keep saying it's particularly bad in the west end of Negril. Mm-hmm. What about the east?
I think we're feeling it bad everywhere, but I can only identify where I live and work and talking to the people and traversing the roads and hearing the people. Mm-hmm. I can only speak for them, but I think it's everywhere. Mm. But I can speak to the ills of the people I am seeing, I am talking to, and I'm witnessing how they are suffering. And I can only feel it for them.
The Princess Hotel, yes, that is now being built, or is it completed, opened, what?
No, they have done, I'm at a meeting now, I had to leave the meeting. They are doing the second phase. So this is the impact assessment of the second phase. So I'm in that meeting, but I have to come out to speak on this. Mm-hmm. They have almost finished the first phase. Mm-hmm. And so it's among all the community that we've had all this bad drought and everything, but never this bad until the princess is coming on. They've been building night and day. You need water to build. Mm-hmm. For construction, you need water. Mm-hmm. So why should the people suffer while a building is going up?
How many rooms have they built so far in phase one?
I think it's 1,000 or maybe just over 1,000 because it's 2,100 and something approximately.
Wow.
So I am not sure, but I think 1,000 is ready to open.
And soon, where exactly is the princess located?
Well, I don't know if you know where the Green Island School is. The Green Island.
Yes.
Well, it's right in front of the Green Island School. And going back to the school is run down. I'm sorry. The school is run down and dilapidated. Mm-hmm. If I am going into construction with a huge multi-million-dollar agency, they would have to build me 2 classrooms before I give them permission to do anything. Mm. And that's how you invest in your community and your people.
And just for the Kingstonians like Chevron who don't have a clue as to where you're talking,
I'm Karen
where is Princess? Is it in Hanover or Westmoreland?
It's in Hanover.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's in Hanover, and it's just, don't forget, that Negril straddles
both
Hanover and Westmoreland.
Yes, yes.
So all Green Island is a part of our destination. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we have to encompass that as well.
Miss Scott.
So
just a moment, Miss Elaine. Miss Scott?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
is that the view on the ground as well where you are in Hanover, that the princess may be sucking, to use Miss Bradley's word, the water there?
Well, I've heard instances where persons are complaining that with the building of the hotel, it's really taking a lot of resources, and water is one of them. But I'm saying, it shouldn't be, because there are so many rivers here in Hanover. We are so blessed with a lot of rivers and springs, and we welcome development. Nothing is wrong with development, but the structure, the infrastructure needs to be sorted properly.
The carrying capacity of the area, water, the roads, the housing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the hotel shouldn't be really blamed for taking all the water. That means there's a breakdown in the system. Mm-hmm. Or is it that we have relied so heavily, or we haven't transformed in, We're still using the old system and not recognizing that the population is growing, things are changing. So, these resources or these infrastructures need to be developed as well. They need to be updated.
Yeah.
Ms.
I think
Bradley, when it
Yes,
comes to
sir.
the Princess Hotel, you seem to have been keeping track of the project. Was the water resource impact assessment not done? Did they not give a assessment essentially of how much water they'll be needing in the building phase as well as upon completion?
I think it was done because I was at the first impact assessment management when before they started construction. And our now MP, Moreland Wilson, did bring up about the water and where is it going to be coming from. And we were assured in that meeting that there was adequate water and it would not affect. Maybe it's because the drought has been so dramatic. That's why, and with climate change impacting everything. But I am not sure if they had assessed it properly, because you have to give into saying, you have to do mitigation purposes and say, well, is it going to affect the community? You see, as Ms. Scott said, no upgrading of infrastructure has gone in, and we are growing. And now the Prime Minister has started with making sure that some infrastructure is going, because we have more hotels that will be coming on stream
Well,
soon.
I have a response here from a senior member of the cabinet. I can't say who, but they say that it should not be possible for the hotel to impact the water problems, and they've also been using what he calls a reverse osmosis plant to supply the hotel when open. So he's suggesting that that is not a significant contributor to the water woes in the area.
So if there is reverse osmosis, you need water to start that in the first place.
Yeah,
Where
but
is
that's
that
upon
coming from?
completion of the project, so it's not in
Okay.
utilization
Well,
currently.
yes. But we are now talking about the now, and it's the impact it's having now because of the construction going on. With construction, you need water. And it's the now we are talking about. And the effect
I'm being told that
now
the
on the
inflows, the inflows are well
below.
Is below. He's
Yes.
essentially said it's a climatic disaster, that inflows are well below 50%, and that it's not the hotel that is the issue. It's just a significant drought problem.
Yes, and the people realize that there is significant, and we've always had it, especially in Negril. We've always had it, and we've always had like a regular. You have it today, the water in the pipes today, then you will get it to another area, get it tomorrow. It's been sort of rations, and people accept that because they can fill up when they know. Now there are several leaks all over the place because the pipes are old, and as we said, no infrastructure has been upgraded. And now the Prime Minister has put, thank God for that, and we are grateful that the infrastructure, and that is with water, that's going to go in. So once the pipes go in, and then the roads, you need to come to Negril to see what Negril looks like right now. And the main roads, especially going to Ricks. Right now, Negril, and that's my word that I've always said.
How does it
Negril
look
is
now?
A dump.
What?
A dump.
Oh, dump?
I have a kin, Negril.
When you
So
say
like
a dump, Miss Elaine Bradley, what? Come on, describe that for me.
I'm sorry. You need to visit Negril. Go to the West End.
But
We're getting improvement, we're getting improvement now.
Yeah, but then we come
Roads-
visit when we can't be it.
Exactly. But I have catchment, so I can get you water today. I can give you some water, don't worry. And we have had from yesterday, we have had the most beautiful, and we had it today, shower of rain.
Oh.
I tell you, I felt like going out and dancing. I tell you, it was a beauty to my ears. It was a sight for sore eyes. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And we had it today again.
Oh.
It's still hot though. But I have always lived in hope, especially with this government, that we are going to have improvement and infrastructure. I am one that never, ever give up. And I like to fight to the death. And I know better will come and better must come.
Well, Ms. Bradley, I'll further update, and this is from Minister Matthew Samudo. They're currently laying 1.2 kilometers of pipe replacement, which will start on Monday. Once those pipes are laid, they will properly pave the road, and your situation should be alleviated somewhat. That's the assurance being provided by the minister himself.
That is music to my ears. We just want to see it happening. And I'll tell you for why I want to see it. Last week on, I think it's Wednesday, we had the NWA came and gave a presentation that roadworks will start at the breakaway of the, I know there's a lot of things, there's a lot of the process. They've gone through all the process, but the building now there's also a process. And so they came and gave a presentation, and the work should have started 27th. I had to reiterate when I saw it written down, I said 27th of this month or next month or next year.
Well, they said Monday.
There.
Monday.
They said Monday the 27th. No, I'm talking about the NWA. Gave a presentation for the breakaway of the wall that's 4 years incoming. And at the west end by the Sunshine Village. And we've heard that it's coming. They gave a presentation last Wednesday at the Destination Assurance that it will start on Monday the 27th. We have seen nothing, not even equipment has dropped. So in Negril, we have heard all these things that are on the books, are on the cards. But as I said before, we've never seen anything come to fruition.
Yes.
But I live in hope, and I hope.
And I hope you will not die in Constant Spring.
So the minister is definitely keeping track of this conversation, and he says once the NWC's work is finished, the NWA will start their work.
Absolutely.
So it's clearly a process.
We hope so. And I know there's a process, but we cannot wait long enough to see something happening. The people need to see action, not hear about it. They just need to see it.
Well. All right, ladies.
And we know it's coming. We know it's coming.
Yes.
I have all faith in my government right now. Everything that they say is going to happen will happen, but when?
All right. Ms. Scott, you have the final word on behalf of Hanoverians?
Well, as I said, the farmers are really being affected, and, without food, we need food to survive, and if they don't get the water, then we'll have to pay this expensive food bill. So we really need the water, and there's a lot of, it's just for them to look at the infrastructures, and climate change is real, so even with these new developments, they have to factor that into being, think of strategies beforehand to mitigate against this crisis, because it's going to happen again. We don't know when these aquifers will come up. They have to keep up with we have these bodies, the forecast and all of that. Utilize the data that we have to make these decisions, and don't react when something happens. Be proactive.
Yes.
So, that's what we need to do, and utilize the resources. We have the resources here. We do have it. We have a lot of rivers. We have a lot of springs. Some are underutilized. The rivers need dredging. Bamboos and silt sediments, built up in the rivers. So the capacity of the river to flow is being affected. Use up these things. Dredge the rivers. Apart from giving out these black tanks, look for other means. You have some areas in Hanover, quite clay, dig ponds, integrate the farms so you have water as well as improving the livelihood of people at the same time. So, it can work. It can work if they just think about it properly and put it into being. That's it.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies. Yes.
Thank you so much for having us on.
You're welcome. And Miss Bradley,
Yes, sir.
When you can assure me get a shower.
You will definitely get a shower. You ask anybody,
especially this evening,
if I make a promise, and I have got catchment. So as long as it rains, you will have a shower. And just one more thing. I think every new construction should be made to be built with catchment.
Yes. Yes.
I think that will be a good thing forward.
Yes.
As Ms. Scott said,
This climate crisis is not going away.
And it's not going away. It's
Yeah.
becoming more forceful.
Yes.
And the more we are destroying the trees, I mean, right now I'm talking the amount of mangrove that Princess is removing. That's even more dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So, yeah.
Elaine Bradley is the president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, and Kamille Scott, the parish manager of the Hanover branch of the Jamaica Agricultural Society. Thanks, ladies.